A new season and new stories to be told for LCR Season 8. Good afternoon, good evening or good morning wherever you're watching this on YouTube. We hope you're having a fantastic day. And we're here in Sakhir, Bahrain. This iconic LCR staple is ready to go for round one. And well, of course, we have a brilliant circuit, 3 DRS activation zones and plenty of opportunity for overtaking. Let's have a look though. Just a few minutes ago, we had a thrilling and epic qualifying session, and here is your grid for it. So it's same old for Williams. They've got Shizou Jinx on pole position with CRG more so. Alfa Romeo runner-up in constructors, start from second as well. Nothing's changed in Season 8. KJ is third. Keep in mind though, the top 3 are all on the soft compound tyres. Syrah, one of the league racing favourites, looks primed and ready, starting from 4th on the medium tyres. Mezemewen, a strong qualifying, a strong debut for the Frenchman. He starts from 5th. For 6th place for Jam Pancakes in the Haas. Jax YT starts from 7th for Alfa Romeo on the soft with Titan Amaze behind him. And Drolex making it 8th and 9th for both of Mercedes. Sims rounds out the top 10 for Red Bull, also on the soft. And outside the top 10, fresh choice tyres begins for LK and John Papp. The McLaren strong start to the season alongside Melanie. John Papp has to settle for P12. Apex with a good one in his eyes, 13th for the Ferrari with Boris Lerlots alongside him in 14th. DTO Felipe alongside Sierra in the Renault starts in 15th with Melanie way down the field in P16. Row number 9 begins with Mendes and Crescito in the Toro Rosso and BRC GC for Haas starting from 18th. And at the back of the field, the reserve of Matt 212 begins the season on P19. But as you can see, as the screen pops up now, we are thick and fast on the formation lap. And my name, of course, is LCR Nuthead. Alongside me is F1 Ben. And Ben, pleasure to have you here for the new season. And wow, that qualifying session was quite something.
It was a phenomenal session, but well, what makes it brilliant here is that we have such a brilliant drivers this season, and with 5 drivers out of the top 10 on the soft tyres, it really shows a mix of strategies, and this could be a phenomenal season of LCR.
It could indeed, and we have a long way to go. 18 rounds between now and potentially a 1 in 19 chance of crowning a new LCR World Champion. The only current champion on the grid is LCR Apex, following the departure of the 4-time LCR World Champion of Shizou Leopard. But now we've got the long wait down towards turn 1, and this track of course was host to the 50th Grand Prix in LCR history. That day it was LCR Fredster that took the victory back then. Last season it was won by ESR Amaze, and also the only track on the calendar to have an AI driver win, probably in league racing, let alone in LCR, back in Season 1. But now we have to wait and see who's going to put their name in the history books and take that all-important first win of the season. Matt 212 is the final man of 19 as LCR gets ready to create a legacy and mark itself down towards turn 1. 19 drivers, 1 opportunity, the victory of Bahrain. Who is it going to be as we build up towards the 5 red lights? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and LCR Season 8 is finally off in Bahrain. Took a while to get the lights out. Good start there from Jinx. A good start from KJ as well on the second row. Jinx going to be a bit of oversteer, but coming towards turn 1. KJ alongside CRG also in the background. We've also got Jam Pancakes somewhere she's losing it. Down towards turn 1. Around the outside goes KJ on his teammate and tries to defend off Morso and does, and takes the lead coming up towards turn 3. Down towards turn 4 this comes. The Jax YT good start getting himself in the 4th. It's currently both the Williams, both the Alfa Romeos. Shizou Jinx, Shizou Sierra down towards P5. The Amaze 6th, but side by side still go the Williams, and in the Baron that's also more so trying to get something inside, coming down towards turn 5, and in the end KJ leads the first lap ahead of Jinx and ahead of Morso. What a start from the man starting from P3.
Brilliant start there from KJ, playing both Jinx and Morso towards the back of the field. VRC GC had an accident. That's not the way he wanted to start off his career in LCR. Sarah maintaining his 4th place, but from the top 3, that's a great start. What's happened to Jax YT? He's coming up 17th.
He's fallen out there. Obviously some sort of contact potentially with Sierra, judging by where he was on the field. Meanwhile, side by side goes Crescito and John Papp. John Papp on the hards, Crescito on the mediums. On the fresh choice of tyres battle, really. But up towards the front, still remains the same with KJ jumping both of Morso and Jinx to take the lead on lap 1. The man that's had only 1 pole position in LCR. We thought he was going to have it for the majority of qualifying, but right at the end, his teammate and Morso snapped him up and claimed him to force him down to P3. And he only had that one back at Canada Season 6. But now here today at Bahrain, he leads the first lap, 33.9, set by the Williams, and his teammate is bearing down on the back of him. More so, also watching on Sirra, just a couple of tenths behind as well. You've got Jam Pancakes very close. In fact, going to the inside line of T10 and Maze down towards turn 1. Give us a better counter. They're finally giving us it. Down towards 2. Good defence by Maze. Up towards 3. And really snap oversteer. Oh, massive pushing off there on the inside line. But down towards turn 4. Jam Pancakes still going to fight his way past the Scotsman, is he potentially? Still trying to hold that inside line on the Mercedes. And surely the Hassle's going to do him through towards 5 and 6. He has that inside line. And Maze still trying to hold his on the outside line. Contact! And around goes Jam Pancakes. Disaster. He doesn't come. Oh, there's contact. That's Boris.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Huge crash.
Yeah. Boris, Jam Pancakes both taken out. I think Boris is trying to take out Jam Pancakes as well. Just completely missed his break point. I don't know what just fully happened there. So amazing Jam Pancakes. I think the Jam Pancakes they were very late on a base. They started banging wheels into turn 1. Into turn 1. And they're going to have turn 4. There was no room. I think Jam Pancakes just kept in, which probably he shouldn't have done, to be honest. It did not seem like an overtaking place there for Jam Pancakes, but we'll have to see how this goes. That is one of that is two really of the main race winning contenders. Not almost out of contention.
Yeah. Dropping like flies, you could say. But here we go on to lap 3. Now the DRS is enabled, and we're going to have an absolute DRS train from first down to 4. The front 3 all still on the softs, but Sirra bearing down on his set of medium tyres. Down to 1 though. He looks to be closing. I'll potentially have it up towards turn 3, I believe, as Vince now bearing down on his teammate. And might suddenly get a bit of a move on here, but it's a good exit from Sirra on more so. Coming down towards turn 4, picks that inside line, does the Brazilian. Is he going to take advantage on the Northern Irishman? Yes, he is. Into P3 goes the Renault, down the 4th goes more so, and well, that's the first of many in Sirra's probably overtakes we're going to see in his LCR career.
Yeah, there you go. Sirra up into 3rd place. He's got his 2 Shazoo brethrens in front of him of Jinx and KJ. They're both locking up into turn 10. I'll be interested to see whether it's now a blockade from the 2 Williamses, or it's just going to be serious. It's going to sit behind them, wait for the tyres to go a little bit, and then we will see. We'll see how quickly as well. Also falls into the jaws of a Maze, who probably isn't the happiest person in the world right now.
Oh, car off. That's it's John Papp at turn 11. He's gone off on the potentially a bit of contact there, but he's now come out right in front of DTO Felipe. He's not had a good start at all in my books. Jinx is off at the final corner, and Sirra's going to say, well, thank you very much, lad. That's P2, just like that. But Jinx is in the slipstream. It might come back at Sirra, coming down towards turn 1, closing and close with that slipstream advantage. Picks the inside line out, down the inside goes the Williams. I think the Renault will hold his own on the outside line and will. So that means Sirra fully opportunistic into P2.
Yeah, so Sirra now up in the 2nd place behind KJ, just be behind Jax YT. And Matthew on still having a little scrap. These guys have been together for quite a little bit of this race, and now Melody making a move on the Alpha as well. Smart from Matt, blocking the inside of the line. Jack Roddy from Sendy, and now Melody straight around the outside and through up in the 4th place as Jack Paggins well clears his teammate.
Yeah, BRCGC let him go really, to a sign that maybe there's a number 1 drivership going on, as of course Jam Pancakes has been involved in an early incident. Interesting, Jax YT has a massive chunk of front wing missing on that front right, following the contact that we didn't manage to see on the first lap, as we're focusing on the front 2 Williams. But yeah, could be involved with this man here in Sirra. We don't quite know what's happened just yet. We'll have to wait to see for the clips after the race. But now Sirra sets his sights on KJ, and if he does that, he's already got a massive cushion in the race lead, and you do begin to wonder, well, this could be a fairly easy ride from here if he can get past the Williams.
And I'm pretty confident he will do. A good exit here from Sirra, should probably say more. Pretty well, gaps to 3/10 of a second. They're both fully RS. Sirra another new fast lap race, still have 3 laps in a row. It's Shazoo was to do. But I think Sirra around the outside pretty easily. Clears KJ Gamer, and Sirra leads his first ever LCR race.
That's how you make an instant impact.
KJ
Meanwhile, Menson, Newman. Oh, yes,
sorry.
good point.
KJ coming back at him. Into turn 4, and makes move stick, goes a little bit deep. Sarah back at him here. Still sat by his side. KJ knows smartly. Backs it out. Sarah goes a little bit loose. Will he go again? It's turn 9. Sarah really slow. And now KJ on the outside, around turn 9. Not going to make the move there. You don't want to be so stand around turn 10 because that will look like an accident. And so to bring both Jinx and also back into this. Sorry, quick off.
Yeah, this isn't over just yet. No, that's fine. Meanwhile, Menson Ewan, oh, she's gone deep actually at turn 10, and the mate says, well, I'll have that position back, thank you very much. And back into P5 he goes. So for a second, Ewan was into P5, but now he's back down. But so far, good impression from him, I'd say, in the Toro Rosso. Put up a fight against the two, well, probably the two main contenders of last season in Dralex and Amaze, now formed together in the Mercedes team. Whereas, of course, Dralex was in the Williams last season, but now buying together for this season, so it should be strong for them. But yeah, now interestingly, Jinx actually losing a bit of time to his teammate, and more so beginning to get in. You do wonder if KJ breaks the DRS train to Jinx, doesn't have been prone to more so behind.
Well, it certainly looks like it. Also, really started to get his pace back up here. More so, is a very patient driver. Experience of that being WOR last year, where he was racing Leopard, took him 9 laps to get by, but over those laps he saved up a lot of fuel, a lot of DRS, and just mugged up and off on the last lap. Since LK and Matt also an MT Christico here as well, ordering little scraps in. LK on the inside of Sims into turn 4, gets moved on pretty easily against the Red Bull. I think Matt has also cleared Christico. Yes, indeed. Good place going back to build from him.
2, and it's Boris. And see, by the new feature of the track map, I can tell where that is. See? Because of this. Meanwhile, and out goes Jax YT. One of the favourites to grab the victory has gone before really the race has even got started. So first retirement of the session, as you can see, he's done it in the pit lane thanks to the new feature of the track map. So out goes the Alfa Romeo. And sadly that means it's left for only one. And well, that one is P4.
As Borso is really close, and Jinx I think has made a mistake here, because here comes CRG Borso on his return to LCR, down the inside, up to turn 11, and Borso is through. Oh, is he actually? Jinx is keeping on the outside? Yes, he is. Borso goes through in third place.
Look at the gap between Jinx, Morso and KJ now, 2 seconds, thanks to the DRS train, and plus a bit of battling now. And you do wonder, is Jinx really struggling on his tyres? He might have to say to his teammate, look, I might have to pit soon because I'm really struggling here. If he's dropping time like that, the pole sitter is really in trouble at the moment. He goes massively deep at the final corner. Basically, almost looked like he was going to try and hit also, but he got away with it. KJ's in.
Yes, he is. Wow. KJ from second place. Now, this is hard. This is at the end. If it's mediums, it's 2-stopping. And I'm still not convinced about the 2-stop. But it is the medium tyres. Wow.
Well, he's got to get the hammer down. Sims, interesting, meanwhile, has gone for the hards. The Red Bull deciding that we're going to do the soft hard strategy. Clearly, there's absolute scrap going on here. Sorry to interrupt, but between... Oh, Jinx! Jinx has lost it! Jinx has got a puncher!
He's got a puncher! Left rear! Well...
Yeah, that's disaster.
Well, bold strategy. I didn't think time would wear that badge, but Jinx, with a left rear puncher, is now going to crawl his way back to the pits. And this is disastrous for Williams, because they're now both confined to the 2-stop. Well, but Jinx, if he spins out, this could be a safety car, and he has spun out on turn 10. There's just a question of actually, he's the motherable train from match 1-2.
Yeah, that's the train I was actually going to talk about, but then of course I saw Jinx go off. Yeah, between Kushito, Felipe, Jam Pancakes, Melanie, Matt as well, and everyone's involved. Yeah, Jinx has now got to crawl back to the pits, and he's actually going to get passed by his teammate who's just come out of the pit. And, well, if they were took to the party, you can guarantee Jinx said, I'm not going to be able to go any further on these tyres, but Kate said, I need to pit. So ultimately, he just had to be dealt with a heavy blow because he was number 2 driver. Morso's in, and he'll probably be relieved for the fact that Jinx has got a puncher, because there's no worries about traffic with him. It's just KJ now.
Oh, I see where Morso comes out in relation to KJ Gamer. I don't think...
On the hard.
Oh, hard. I think he might be able to make that to the end. 21 laps. He should be able to make that to the end. He does come out behind KJ as expected. Is it a large gap? Yeah, pretty much. The Musso will be, I don't know, he's going to have a miss on GC. GC will have the right of way and take position. But will he decide to hold Musso up? He is, he's defending.
Well, he's got DRS as well, and
yeah,
that's probably a bit more of an incentive to him, saying, well, I've got the advantage of it, and it's quicker in race time to have the DRS, but now he's got to really sort of think about what he's going to do here, because, well, he's not really battling Musso, but he's currently probably KJ Gamer's best friend at the moment. Interestingly as well, Messi Buscio pitted in that massive train that was going on. He pitted from mediums to hards, so an early pit stop for the Toro Rosso.
Early undercut, I suppose. Maybe he was struggling with red tides a lot. We shall see. But now all these pit stops are giving Sarah a 4.5 second lead. And this, well, it's safe to say this race is now Sarah's fault. As Ewan runs second, you've got Mason third, Alex in fourth, LK fifth, and then you've got the Mat 212 train of itself. Bang Gates, Felipe, John Papp, Melanie, just better than we've got Apex and KJ. I assume Apex here will not push no flat against KJ. Nothing against Apex's skill, but he's on A laps or mediums. KJ's on 1 lap. He's just free. He's just there to get through as Champagne Gates. Makes his way past Matt 212, goes a little bit late on the brakes. Doesn't matter, makes his way up in P6.
Back restarted. Can you believe it? Meanwhile, Musso does get past GC in the end. As into 13th goes CRG Musso. Meanwhile, Matt 212 had another look back past Jam Pancakes. Wasn't quite able to, but despite the incident at lap 1, Jam Pancakes is now back to where he qualified. And is actually, in fact, the only man on the grid to be where he qualified at the moment after 10 laps. Everyone else has either dropped or gained positions in the open laps. We're still pissed off to go, so that could change. But this is an interesting fact to tie you over.
Well, I think that's due to the fact, obviously, Jack's YT's retirement with him starting pretty out of the field. But you've also got to look at the fact that we've had incidents, and also you've got Musso and KJ out of position due to pit stops.
It was something, though.
It's definitely something, but you've got to look at a realistic fact that there's a lot of other factors at play here. It's not just that Jam Pancakes is the GOAT and managed to get himself in the safe.
Well, I'm sure he'd be pleased that you said Jam Pancakes go. Meanwhile, pit stops, Ewan and Amaze both into the pits.
So early pit stops here from these two. Hot tyres definitely to the end. Maybe the tyres just going off a little bit. With a Maze hold track position against Ewan. Yes, Ewan hold track position against Maze. Yes, he does. KJ should just casually go by these guys. Yes, he does. But Musso. Oh, and Musso's behind. Musso's behind Maze and behind Ewan.
Does make you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, I don't think there was any sort of front wing change needed for the Alfa Romeo, so maybe just on them last few laps on the softs. Ultimately, the mediums towards their middle of their stint, they were still quicker than Musso on his 2-lap, well, older, hard tyres. So now he's got a bit of a fight on his hands because he's got Ewan and Amaze, and we've got a bit of a train forming here potentially between these three.
Certainly so. The other thing to note is obviously both Sarah Alex and LK staying out on track, so these guys will be coming in pretty soon. In fact, I won't be surprised if Sarah does box in this lap, just by the fact that. But we should see where he actually comes out in relation to KJ. I think he'll be in front. Sarah's not actually. Sorry, Sarah does not fit. I think he'll be in front of KJ, but I think it'll be close. Currently, the gap between them is 22.6 seconds. I think the pit lane loss is 21. But Jukes is the first one to put the penalty, but he's got a long way to come back, so that's not really too surprising. The strikes and okay, also open with the pits. Oh, and
that was close. Anyway, so it's now a Renault 1-2 because Felipe has stayed out. Jump Up, of course, is the lone man who started on the hard tyres. KJ has flown past Drolex, but I'm interested where he comes out with regards to his teammate and Ewan. Ewan passed, Musso passed, and his teammate does go past. He's now at the back of the train. Look at this train we've got here. Potentially going to form behind Apex soon. It's going to be a 5-man train, and Apex is going to be like the little sort of... Well, just go easy on me, guys. That's probably going to be what he's asking.
It's nearly the time where we do see both Brazilians come into the pits. It's a stark contrast from what was taking part last night. Australia was doing the BRL League own time this year, which was obviously the only European in that race, which was cool. Sarah, make sure it's on context here. Sarah actually won the second race at China by absolutely dominant what China's in the field, which he's currently doing at the moment, with a 19.6 second lead over his teammate, and he does now come into the pits.
Race leader and potential debut winner on his way to making what could be history. He's into the pits, and the Renault team need to get this one spot on. Tyres, of course, expected are going to be the hard tyres, and let's just have a look to see where KJ is riding on board with the Williams now, as the Renault has left his pit box and making his way down very slowly, as Felipe is, of course, going to stay out because, of course, his teammate is pit, but John Papp is still going to go side by side with him down towards one and goes past. But here comes KJ with Syrah. Where's it going to be? To the outside towards one. Syrah, of course, will have to take the more deeper line and sort of more narrow line, if you will, as John is still side by side with Felipe ahead. We've got to stick with all this battle here. DRS open for the KJ, and this could be his one and only opportunity to potentially upset the system of the Renault. He picks the inside line. Syrah breaks late enough and holds on. Meanwhile, though, Felipe is now going to sort of potentially build a bit of gamesmanship here with his teammate.
It'd be a smart decision right now with Syrah being where he is. John Papp all over the place. He hasn't played in the last sector. That's one of the. I believe he's doing Jinx. It is indeed. He's miles off circuit down at the final corner. A 10-second time penalty as well. I think that's there's rubbing salt in the wounds, and then it's just bashing the guy's skull open again.
That's one way to put it. Well, now as you can see, Felipe is still at the head of the train, a four-man train foreman, and this in fact probably works in the way of Syrah and Ewan, as out goes Jinx. We have lost the Williams now from the session, so after pole position, the disaster in the race for the Austrian, and has to look towards the next round where we head to, I believe, Australia.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. See? There's my calendar. Anyway, Syrah very late on the brakes.
Sorry, yeah, Syrah did hit the back of John Papp. He did hit the back of him. They will have your ass down on the Prix. But that, I can't see any actual damage on the Renault, but he definitely hit the back of that. Definitely the back of it.
You do have to wonder, I mean, reduced damage fortunately in LCR does mean that it does take a bit more than a love tap to pick up damage, but anything can happen with the damage model sometimes. Meanwhile, Amaze passes more so into fifth he goes, and more so is going to fall down the order with that soft to hard strategy, and that's expected with the tyre wear. Felipe, meanwhile, who has pit, so is GRC. Felipe comes out side by side with Melanie down towards turn one. The flying Finn trying to put his contact between the Finn and the Brazilian. Felipe manages to keep the car going. Melanie forced off to hit the P0 sign and has had disaster. Meanwhile, KJ and John Papp side by side. I think had a turn 8 there. Ben, but still not quite enough for him. Another love tap, and that forces John off, and past goes KJ. Rough, I would say that one.
Well, probably racing. What do you want to say about that one?
Depends who you ask, doesn't it?
Yep. But for John, he punted him. For KJ, it's Robert is racing, get out of the way. Just log. That's the list. That's the list actually longer than it is in Formula 1. In Formula 1 there's only actually been 3 Davidson drivers in the history of the sport. The don't be I can't remember, but I just made a sure but I think that shows diversity here. The drivers, the Jacobs also coming back out of Maze into turn 1. These two bigger. I've had a little ding dong since Morso came out of the pits, and Morso gets back in front of the Mercedes. And you wonder here, will the Mercedes swap over and let hydraulics have a go? Because it seems like a Maze.
I think they might let.
It's stuck with this Alpha at the moment.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because, you know, part of you would say, oh yeah, hydraulics, but Amazing sort of got ahead of Morso, but then because the DRS didn't really have an opportunity to defend really, because that's just naturally the way DRS works. And meanwhile, as you can see, his teammate is now right on the back of him, so maybe it is a sign that maybe Amaze needs to wave Dralex through. But I'm sure for the moment, in this what is definitely an esports battle between CRG, Tech 10 and VSR, all going away, and teammates are just ahead of them as well. How about that? It's as if we've arrived in the esports team versus team battle, and instead we're here for LCR Season 8. But yeah, so now more so at the front, but I do begin to question, are we looking at a DRS train potentially going to happen in the next few laps?
Very, very likely. I'm going to take to your comment about the esports team, he obviously intensifies. But we see, but more so, in 5th place, you got the base just behind him and Alex just behind him. If I was in the Mercedes shoes, I'd give Amaze a couple more laps. Let me see if he can actually make the move, and then Alex, see if Alex can just ease himself by maybe. Amaze can go for it, but at the moment, I think Amaze is maybe the best position. As actually, here comes Amaze, making his way down the inside into turn 1, and retaking 5th place off more so. One thing I'm noticing in this race is a very distinguished lack of penalties. I think we're going to actually see one person do Jinx, and he's about out of the race.
I don't know about you, that's what I'd see. Meanwhile, Matt gets past the Jam Pancakes now inside the points, goes to Haas, and Matt outside the points. One of the Davey victors that I did list. And interestingly, by the way, statistic time, that if Cyril or even Ewan takes the victory, it'll be the 30th different LCR winner in the history of LCR since the beginning. I believe that is excluding the AI driver, so that should be the 31st. But of course, we don't really count the AI driver. No real reason to explain why. You should probably know why. Back in Season 1, of course, the weather was set to wet, and only, I think it was 3 cars finished, and the winner was the AI, back when AI were allowed in LCR. But it's 112 races, 31 different winners. That's not a bad ratio, I would say.
KJ comes into the pit, going on a new fresh set of media tyres. So he should come out around Matthew, I assume. It's Matthew 212. Currently running in the last place position is the Ferrari. KJ
YouTube phenomenon, that 2-on-2.
Ah, yes.
Let's see where KJ
was one of the fastest guys in LCR. Now he's a little bit. He's been a little bit shaky in the last few times he's raced. As KJ does.
Still here, though.
Yeah, it's good to see him returning. It keeps the viewers high as well, so that's also another positive.
Yeah, as Boris is now being lapped, just to let you know. He's come out on the softs and he's currently being blue flagged by Amazed, and also that's, of course, thanks to the new crazy feature we've got. Come out a few months ago, didn't it? Ghosted AI cars when it comes to lapping, and Amazed actually has DRS because of Boris. So I would say right now, Boris Levels is doing Tita and Amazed a huge favour.
I think Boris might be receiving a lot amount of packets in the next few days.
Maybe let's just say shortbread, because I don't think he'd want haggis.
But we'll have KJ on his return back up the field. He's got a lot of drivers trying to take. I think he's about to start the match 2-1-2. In turn 4, Matt doesn't even try. There you go, KJ. Open in nice place.
Yeah, good move from KJ. Solid sort of considerate driving, I'd say, from Matt as well, thinking, okay, he's on fresh mediums, I'm on 8-lap-old hards, maybe I can't really put up too much of a fight here. As KJ actually loses the back end at turn number 8. Now it's towards 9 and 10. But his next on his target list is Jam Pancakes. And I'm sure this is a battle that you'd expect to see towards the front, but you're not sitting at the P8.
It is a shame. You got a quick shout out to Sims, by the way. I'm in 7th place. That's very good, maybe. He's been a little bit off the pace last couple of LCR seasons, but good to see him back inside the top 10. Now, Jam Pancakes closing in the back on him, and KJ closing in rapidly. I mean, he's just took 7th out in the middle sector alone. This could be very, very interesting. Boris, Boris, stayed flat out of the race with 29.5. One little surprise I've got personally, we haven't seen the safety car yet.
That's a very good point. We haven't actually, despite the increased frequency, but I think we're about to see a move here, and let's hope it doesn't lead to a safety car, which could be a crash. But down towards turn 1, pick your inside, does Jam Pancakes. The Haas has flown his way past and tossed himself into P7. That was a pancake innuendo, but it sounded really wrong. Potentially down to 1, he picks the inside line. Could this be the move? In fact, it is. More so, basically waves him by. I think really this is going to turn into almost go-kart, swapping and changing every single lap. And to be honest with you, I have no problem with that. Speaking of which, Amaze has gone deep at turn 3. He's also going to think I'll move down towards 4. He's closing and closing him, but thinks better of it. And now, once again, the Mercedes keep Alfa Romeo in a sandwich. We can actually see where people are, but here we go. We've got the battle here for P3 as Morso picks his outside line. Drolet's going to try and come through on his teammate as well. He tries to take the double move down to 1. Down the inside goes Drolet on his teammate. Bit of contact between the two. He's now come up towards 3 and Morso's through. But for how long? Because now Drolet is still bearing down his teammate. And Amaze has dropped time to Morso, but has the DRS now. But with just 3 laps to go, Morso now ahead of both Mercedes once again. So this could be very tight, as he's also got a battle on the final lap. Down to 1, Amaze is closing on him. Picks that inside line out, does the Scotsman. Is he going to take another podium? He takes it away from the Alpha, but for how long can he come back at him? Has he got the tyres to come back at him? He might have to just cruise his way on this final lap and ultimately potentially take P5. DRS open for the Northern Irishman. Coming down to 4. It's the second of the 3 DRS zones you get around this circuit. He's not close enough to try it there, and he's snapping the back end. And you do have to wonder, is he going to make them tyres last? And Drolex might be on him as well, but we have to look at Sierra because he's on the last lap, was only 15 seconds clear of Ewan behind, and is surely on his way to that debut victory we spoke so much about.
I'm watching the left rear more so because that's what's been blowing up most of the race, and that, it looks dreadful. To be brutally honest, I don't think he's going to get Amaze here. I don't think he's going to do that Drolex to him. I'm going to hand it over to you while you cover Sierra winning.
Well, we mentioned the Brazilian was going to be one of the favourites, and he starts the season off with a bang. P4, the fast on the medium tyres. It's not going to be a Grand Slam weekend, but it might as well feel like it. Sierra dominantly wins the Bahrain Grand Prix and heads into Australia with a championship lead. He has. Coming down towards the final corner, Morso picks it outside line, and Maze goes defensive and squeezes him off. The switchback could be on if he gets a good exit. I don't think he will. Ewan's going to finish second on his debut. And Maze, last season championship contender, holds on by 700. There's 2 tenths between 3rd to 5th, but it's Amaze, Morso, Drolex. LK finishes 6th, Jam Pancakes recovers to 7th, KJ 8th. Matt 212 will surely finish 9th, and DTO Felipe makes it a double point finish for the Brazilian Renault team in the first round as well. And that was an unbelievable finish as Matt loses P10 on penalty, so Felipe brings home 2 points. But there we have it, Ben. That's the Bahrain Grand Prix. That was sensational. So Sierra wins ahead of Ewan and ahead of Amaze. Morso, after qualifying second, made the soft and hard strategy work as much against the odds. Comes home P4, he'll be thrilled with that one. Drolex P5 with LK in P6. Jam Pancake finishes 7th, KJ in 8th, and DTO Felipe finishes in 9th. Matt runs out of the top 10. For myself and Ben, thank you very much for the support on the stream. It's been absolutely mega, and we'll see you same time, same place next week in Melbourne, Australia. Thank you again, and goodbye.